Hey teachers, I wanted to bring you a video about what ThinkCERCA looks like from a student's perspective. I know some teachers have been hesitant to use ThinkCERCA with their students because they're concerned that it would be complicated or that students might struggle with the platform. But I just wanted to show you today that it's really not difficult for a student. It's pretty intuitive. So I've created a mock student account. So I'm going to go in here as a student, and I logged in with my mock student account, who's Gunnar Aberly. As the teacher, I assigned him this lesson here. So I'm going to walk you through what it would look like for a student to go through an assignment. So I clicked on the assignment, and it's going to start me right here in Connect as a student. So I'm going to read the topic overview as a student, and then it gives me a question. Write a brief response based on your personal experience. No right or wrong answer. Write about a time when you saw something represented by a friend on social media in a way that did not tell the whole or real story. And so I can type in here whatever. And as you see I'm typing, you saw that box come over here to the left. So whatever I did as a student is going to be saved right there. It automatically saves their work. So once I'm finished with the overview and my response, I'm going to come up here to step 2, which is read. And I can read this article here. If I'm not a good reader or I want to have it read to me, I can have it read to me here. And then I will come over here as a student, read these multiple choice questions, answer them. I can always go back to the article to look at responses. But for the sake of time, I'm just showing you how, as a student, I'm going to click on my answers. I'm going to submit them. It's going to ask me, are you sure you're ready to? Here were your answers. And I'm going to say, okay. So this is going to tell me how I did. I got 40% on this, and it's going to go back and tell me what the correct answers were and a little bit of a rationale there. Then I'm going to engage with the text as a student. So I'm going to come up here and click on number 3. And engagement is this part about highlighting the text. So it's going to give me some directions here. Reread the article, because ThinkCERCA wants students to engage with the article multiple times. So here, I'm going to use my aqua highlighter to highlight specific reasons the article suggests that teenagers are at risk from social media. And then I can add notes. And then I'm going to use my pink to highlight specific strategies the article offers for parents to combat these dangers. So I have not read this, but if I had and I were the student, here's how I would highlight. Again, I doubt this is what it's asking, but I can click that and I can add notes. This is important because whatever. Save. Then let's say this was parents, strategies for parents. I'm going to highlight that. Here's a good strategy because I can add a note and save. So I would go through the article, highlight what it asked me to do in blue, oops, aqua, add a note, pink, add a note, save. So that is step 3, engaging with the text. And I would do that all throughout the text as a student. Step 4 is summarize. So summarize it in a few sentences. Here are sentence frames, and I could use that. Now, as I'm writing my summary, I can go over here and look at the highlights that I did. It tells me what I highlighted in aqua with my notes in my pink. I can go back here and look at anything that I've done. This was my connect step 1. This is what I'm doing in summarize. You can see that there. So if I go back over to here, this article is about whatever. Social media allows users to whatever. So I could use a sentence stem there. That work is going to save over here. And I can also click this icon to save it. Then I'm going to go to build an argument as a student. So the question is, what is the most important thing parents can do to combat the unrealistic expectations set by social media? If I'm not sure how to get started, I can click on this and it's going to tell me what my claim should do. And it's going to give me an example. And it's going to tell me how to not begin, I think or I believe. So down here, I need to write my claim. Write an opinion or position in response to the question, and it's going to give me an example. So I'm going to say the most important thing parents can do to combat unrealistic expectations, whatever. And then I'm going to click down here, add my claim. Then I've got to build my argument, and it's going to tell me here, these are the pieces that I need to use to build my argument. So I can give a reason. One reason is whatever. And then I'm going to click on evidence. For example, whatever that example is from the text. And then reasoning. I'm going to explain how that evidence connects back to my claim. This is relevant because whatever. And then finally, at some point, I'm going to give my counter argument. And it's going to tell me what that is there. So all of that is going to come over here. Enter. If I need to save it, I can click on save it. Is here. And then if I want to add more, I can add more examples. And you see that when it goes and it saves over here. So this is where the students are going to build their argument. And all of their work is going to come over here and is going to save for them. And anytime a student wants to go back and see what they highlighted so that they can copy and see what that evidence was or those reasons were, they could go back to their highlights and it'll show them what they highlighted. So they could copy and paste and use that. So here is where I built my claim with my evidence, my reasoning, and my counter argument. So as a student, I could copy all of it to a draft or copy parts. So I'm going to say copy all of it to a draft. And you noticed it clicked over here to step 6, create your CERCA. So everything that I typed in all of those cards shows up here. And then this is where I would have to put it together with an introduction, with transitions. I can go back over here and I can move things around. If I go back into build an argument, I can move these cards around. Some people will want to have an evidence before reasons or a counter argument here. So as a student, I can move these cards around into whatever order I want them to be in. And then I can copy that all over here into my CERCA. So just copying it isn't the final response. That is where they have to add their transition and they have to build it into a cohesive response. And then finally, submit assignment. It's going to ask me, have I developed it into a solid response? That's what happens in step 6. Have I used the rubric? And as a student, if I've done all of that, I can say submit assignment, and then it is submitted to you as the teacher. So as you can see, it's pretty intuitive how a student can go through this CERCA process. And it's really something a student can do within a reasonable amount of time. So it's not unreasonable to assign students to complete a CERCA within 1 or 2 days, because it's not something that's undoable. Hopefully this has helped you to see how easy it is for students to create circas and to go through the process. As always, if you have questions, you can email your grade level content lead or Kim at ThinkCERCA.com, and she's our representative who's always happy to help. Thanks so much. Hope this has been helpful.